What you waiting for? It's time. Time for love. It's time. Time for the sun and sand. It's time. Time for fun. It's time. It's time. It's time to let your hair down. Come on. Come on. Come on. To have no fear. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's time. What you waiting for? It's time. 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 What you waiting for?
And another very warm welcome to ladies and gentlemen out there. Welcome to another edition of the Murbretta Show. Thank you for tuning in. Coming up on today's show, we've got a shooting at the White House Correspondents' dinner. The suspect has been caught and is in custody. Outrage over remarks made against our beloved St. Francis Xavier. And what is Goa's identity, Konkani or Marathi? That's all coming up on today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, as we always do, I want to say hello to all of the team that make this all happen, starting off with Mr. Ajoy Barreto.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Uncle Merv.
Why, Uncle?
Because you know, we ran that story on Auntie. Now everybody's calling you Uncle.
Pappy. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back in the studio today, the one and only Mr. Wilbert Cardozo.
Hello everyone. Hope you have been doing well this week and have a wonderful summer.
Baba, gormi hamare summer chalu zale boiling. You're gonna get toasted. Ladies and gentlemen, I always introduce her last, but definitely not the least. The wordsmith, the breakfast queen, my beautiful wife, the one and only Mrs. Joanne Brito.
Hi everybody, nice to be back again. Hope you're all doing well and having a great weekend.
Sweetie, nobody's paying me to say that, you know? I say that out of the goodness of my heart.
I think there's a lot more to me than just that, and I don't want to keep commenting on it.
You're not the breakfast queen today because I got crap. It is.
You're lucky you've got anything at all, never mind that. Seriously.
By the way, Merv.
Yeah, Baba.
That background of yours is popping, baby.
Have you seen how beautiful this is? Goa, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, we do this show live from Goa every week, every Sunday, 6 p.m. And it is a live broadcasted show. Ajoy, as he duly mentioned, this is a picture behind me and behind Joanne. These are backgrounds of our own beautiful beaches, and sometimes we do tend to take them for take advantage. You know, we take it for granted.
We take it for granted.
People come from all over the world to this beautiful place we call home, and you forget sometimes how pretty it is out there. These are landscape and photos and backgrounds of our own beloved Goa. By the way, I've got to mention before we start the show, the opinions expressed on the show are the opinions of the people expressing them, and they are not the expressed or implied opinions of the Murbretta Show in general. We talk about topics every week. This is a live broadcast show. We talk about topics every week that can get very contentious, and they're not everybody's cup of tea, but they are our opinions, and we're very passionate about what we talk about right here on the show, on the Murbretta Show. We've got a couple social media handles we're going to put up on the screen. Wherever you get your social media, get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. Any of the places where you get your social media, check us out, the Murbretta Show. We've got a website where you can check out more about us, the people that put the show together, and previous episodes of the show, www.themurbrittoshow.com. If you don't believe this is a live show, you can call us, see if anybody answers, on WhatsApp, 7507-246-246, and normally you send a couple of shout-outs.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to if you'd like to send a shout out, say something nice, or make a comment about something we're talking about right now, get in touch with us. Like I said, that number live, you will get an answer. Somebody will pick up the phone, 7507-246-246.
So I do want to give a shout out, actually. So my cousin Helen, she had a big birthday on Thursday, the 23rd.
Helen Gardner.
Yes. So they all had, she had a lovely afternoon tea, and then they all had pizza mundo party at their house. They had 10 pizzas.
Wow.
My God.
Yeah, £130 for 10 pizzas it is in the UK. That's in the northeast as well. But I'm just saying they had a lovely, lovely celebration because it was a big birthday for her. And she just did it the way
Helen,
she
you
wanted.
only turned 50, didn't you?
Yeah, it's the new 50.
Yeah, baby.
Her age is the new 50. So yeah, it's obviously spending time with your family and your great friends.
They've got a beautiful family, the Gardner family. I love them all dearly. Helen and Philip, and let me tell you, they've put forth a beautiful family. So I hope you guys had a great pizza party.
Yes, they did. My mum was there too.
Carol Lampla. I'm feeling a little bit worse for wear. I'm probably sounding a little bit worse. I hope I don't look a little bit worse. For where I had a late night last night. I went down to the beach and did a couple of my favorite things. I played pool with the boys.
Yay.
And the old monk consumed a lot of old monk, let me tell you, boys. So if I sound a little bit different, it's only me. And I spanked some, I gotta say, I mean, I'm bragging because they can't speak up for themselves. Bernard got his butt kicked. I went down to the Bayview Shack and played pool. They've got a lovely table there. And I drank copious amounts of old monk, which is another one of my favorite things. Bernard, Nanu, Mickey Suarez, who else?
I think Mark got the better of you at
Siggy
some
Wiggs.
point, didn't he?
He's a good pool player.
He's a very good player. Yeah, because I'd sent him a joking photo because there's the snooker championships on in the UK.
Oh, yes.
And I was wishing him good luck. And he said, I've already won 2 already.
Oh, Ronnie O'Sullivan, baby.
Hey, good for him.
Pankaj, who's the other guy? Vinci, all these guys were there. We had a good time. We had a really good time. And I was laughing to myself because we were talking about the meteor shower.
Oh,
and how Joanne and I went to, I didn't tell you the story. We'll talk about it later in the show. We went to watch the meteor shower 24 hours late.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's get into it. What are we talking about? Well, I mentioned about this White House Correspondents' Dinner. They have this every year.
Yeah.
Security's top-notch, Secret Service, all the different the agencies, the security agencies in the U.S.
Yeah.
And they had a nut job try to run Force's way through.
Yeah. So
And-
this is a huge story, yeah.
Talk about it, Joe.
So the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner, I think it was actually sponsored by CNN. It's actually traditionally held at the Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C. every year. And the president hasn't been for a number of years, so it was pretty widely publicized that he was actually going to be there this year. I think during the first course, people had just had their starters. And shots could be heard outside of the hall itself. So obviously the Secret Service went quickly into action and shuffled the president to safety, and obviously all of his cabinet and any of the members of the government. And
Can you imagine how scary it must be to be at a place where you've got an active shooter?
Oh.
These guys actually heard the gunshots, right?
Yeah.
And he's got loads of, obviously, Secret Service, people jump into action, they spring into action. It must be scary. People were diving under the tables.
Yeah, of course. And apparently it's so packed, not everybody could even fit under a table. And I think the Secret Service, they obviously have to come in.
This is it. They're showing you live on the screen.
Yeah.
Check this out.
So yeah, you just see the guy go running past, sort of rushing past them. Apparently they're saying that he was actually a guest staying at the hotel because, obviously, of course, there's huge security with any event like this. So people who were even attending the dinner had to get out blocks before they could actually even get to the hotel itself.
Well, they've got you. There's no doubt these guys have great securities, but I don't know how secure you can have 600 or a lot of these people, such a large volume of people in a hall.
Yeah.
And the security must be a nightmare to make sure that everybody is the right. But it's like a fire hazard, though. You can't barely move. How can people climb under? You've got some of the top people controlling the country.
Yeah, of course.
In this room. So security's top notch, but it's at the Hilton Hotel where it is every year.
Yeah.
And it's a big event. That's another thing we need to speak about, Ajoy. We discussed about how great it is to be able to speak your mind. We're going to talk about topics, and we live in a country, the largest democracy in the world, where we can speak our minds. This is the one shot where these guys get to actually poke fun of him while he's in the room, whoever the president.
Really, it's like a roasting.
It's a roast. It's not. It doesn't get bad as a roast, but you've had some top-notch comedians go at the presidents. Every president, Barack, Joe Biden, before that, Clinton, Bush. Every president has the Correspondents' Dinner,
Okay.
and if they're cool, they're going to to be in the room. If they're not, they're not. And he was in the room, and they said something really nice about Trump, about the fact that after this emergency, after this attempted shooting, he actually said things to bring people together. And he paid. I mean, he was saying how everybody was in the same situation in the room, and it was a nice thing that he mentioned we were on the same page, and just good things rather than blame it on anybody and all that kind of stuff.
So it was uniting them, because I think in the past he has attacked the press.
You think?
And they were hoping that he wasn't going to do it after this obviously horrific event. But like you say, he actually was making remarks that were a bit more unifying than that, which is obviously good.
I'll tell you what, though. What was I going to say? It must be a nightmare to provide security in America.
Can you imagine
with the gun laws that they have?
Yeah.
Everybody's got a gun,
Everybody's got a gun, right?
This man he's made my old monk cost more to me because of this damn war. Can we talk a little bit about it? I don't want to get into it because we talk about it, but it's massive news around the world. A unilateral decision by this gentleman, Mr. Donald John Trump, has got us in a position where it's like it's a joke, dude. It's like watching a tennis match.
Well, I mean, even J.D. Vance was actually at that Correspondents dinner last night. He wasn't even in Pakistan. He hadn't been sent to Pakistan, and Trump had actually decided not to send any envoys
because Iran's not coming to the table, mate. The straits are closed. The straits are open. The straits are closed. The straits are open. You're blocking the straits. No, I'm blocking the straits. No, you're gonna. And it's crazy because this affects everybody around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going, everybody, and I got to thank God. I don't care what religion you are, political background. At the end of the day, everybody's got to survive. We're in decent shape where we can afford the way things are going. There's some very destitute people and people that are struggling to make ends meet right now because of these crazy prices.
Well, there's a lot of people who were working in the Middle East. They have had to come home because there's so much uncertainty over what is going on. So, their jobs are uncertain. They've had to return to India, and obviously people wherever they live in the world, and maybe if they haven't got enough money to make ends meet, have had to leave. And obviously they want to be safe as well. And I was actually really struck this week because obviously there's just so much limbo around what is actually going on with the war itself.
And the future, right?
Yeah, of course. And I'd seen on the BBC, I'd seen Captain Ramon Kapoor. He's an Indian captain on one of these ships.
He's somebody. Now, this is somebody as not just a captain, as a leader, but I'm so proud of this guy and what he's done.
Yeah. So I think the great thing about him, I think he was on a lot of news outlets because he was just speaking out, and it's more about the human element of the war and these people that are merchant seamen, and they're just caught up in it. And how scary must it be?
Play, you got video.
We just found ourselves in between this conflict zone, and we saw hundreds of missiles flying over our head. We witnessed several missiles and explosion noises, and the shock of those explosions we were felt on ship, even though we are quite far from land, but still we could feel the shock on the vessel.
What did he say that was so prolific? I don't know.
He was standing up for he was basically on the interview that I heard, he was saying that the company that employs them are really looking out for their welfare. They've been resupplying them with supplies and food. So they're saying they're lucky enough not to be running out of supplies. And they're giving them really good information for all of these mandates that are coming down and just checking what's happening. But of course, they can't move anywhere right now.
But that's scary too. You talk
about
being
23 crew. Sorry.
No. It's crazy. These guys, they're showing you the supplies. These guys are sending water, fresh water, food supplies, and all. Can you imagine being stranded, stuck? You can't move your vessel.
I have so much respect. In fact, my dad was a merchant navy captain. And you have
Tony Barretto.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of respect for these guys. Imagine it's such a surreal feeling having hundreds of missiles going over you.
Yeah,
there's a war going on around you.
Explosions on the side because it's a small strait, right? I think it's about 30 miles across.
Yeah.
So you will see the explosions on either side. and it's a scary feeling.
Mate,
Especially if you have family to get back to.
Yeah.
It's a very, very scary feeling.
Yeah.
I was just going to mention, at the end of the day, you got to survive, and you got a bunch of crew members that are in your charge, and a vessel and a ship. Everything can be replaced. You can't replace human life.
No.
That's major. But can you imagine how scary it must be to be stuck? It's like being in a car and there's fire all around you. In a forest fire kind of situation. No?
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard. These poor guys struggle. It's horrible. It's like being in hell. You think about it, stuck in the straits, because you can't go out, you can't come in, you can't move, and there's a war going around you.
It's like you're sitting ducks in a way, because this is where there's so much is contested around this particular area. And this is, becoming such a huge problem for them. And, they're not in the Navy, they're in the merchant Navy. And so for them, it's horrendous.
Speaking of hell, India condemns remarks shared by Trump, calling India a hellhole. I'm surprised he didn't say shithole. He's called a couple of countries shitholes before.
Who's been kind?
He said China. He was speaking specifically about migrants to the States, immigrants, and they leave and they come from these hellholes.
Yeah.
You know what? People say things, and here again, look at his face, dude. When you look at him, he's just a grumpy old man.
Hey, he dances sometimes. What are you saying?
He doesn't flip. Have you seen his dad? He looks so awkward, dude.
At least he's doing it right.
He called, a bunch of people were pissed off about it. I'm not pissed off. It is a hellhole. It is a shithole. But
It is what it is.
It is our hellhole. It's our shithole, and it's our country, mate.
But you know
know
the
what I'm saying?
context.
So he doesn't want
in what
people
he's
coming from a hellhole.
No, he's saying if you don't like America,
Okay.
go back to these hellholes that you
No,
That- I think
He
that's-
wasn't. It wasn't that. He was talking about the birthright, the citizenship birthright, where he's accusing people from India and China of abusing the privilege. So he's essentially saying that they'll come, they'll have kids, and then they'll get people from
these hellholes.
HHs and bring them over.
Do you want to say hellhole?
No.
But hang on. If they're doing it legally, then that's okay.
Can I say I'm going to weigh in on this? And I'm very. We saw a piece this morning. We watched a BBC program about this today. Can I just say I believe very strongly about this. I love my country, and at the end of the day, if you don't like being in America, get the hell out. Go back to where you came from. If you're going to be moving to any country, whether it's the US, UK, Australia, anywhere in the world, if you choose to be there, respect the country, respect the people, respect the culture, respect everything about it. And if you don't like it, go back to it. Don't come to another place and try and change it. Number one. I take a lot of offense to when Indians specifically, as an Indian person, comes to a place and they abuse the rules and laws. It's not all Indian. There's Pakistani, Chinese, whatever. You choose to come to a place, do it legally.
Yeah.
Represent the country you came from. Represent your background, your culture in a positive way. Don't do all the crap that our Indians do all around the world trying to cut corners. It's sad. You know what I mean? So when he calls these hellholes, if you don't like it, go home.
But Mauve,
Yeah, Baba.
he's referring to people who have legally got citizenship status in the United States.
No. He's not talking about people that are doing it legally. He's talking about the people that are doing it illegally and
No,
abusing
he's
the
talking
system.
about a baby becomes an instant citizen if they're born in America.
That's
and
the
then
rule.
he's saying that they're bringing the rest of their family from those HHs.
But that's the rule. If you're born in America, you're an American citizen.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you're doing it illegally, not illegally, legally coming from a hellhole, then so be it. Otherwise, change your laws. You can't have one set of rules from the hellholes and another set of rules from from Switzerland, right? Have a common rule.
It still bothers me. If you don't like where you are, even coming to India, if you don't like India, go back home. If you don't like the States, go back home. When you move to a place, my 2 cents, my final comment about this, when you move to a place, just respect the place, respect the people, take care of the environment. If you don't like it, go to where you came from. Don't try and make where you've moved to more like your goddamn home. That's why you left your home, right?
Yeah.
Do it legally. It's crazy, dude. This war is. By the way, the Indian rupee is being affected equally, no?
Yeah. It's sunk to its lowest valuation in over a decade.
Dude, we're getting hammered. Now's a good time to hold foreign currencies, the pound, the dollar. We're getting hammered. I don't ever remember tourists coming here and getting that many. It's 90 odd to the dollar? The pound is crazy.
How much is a pound?
How much is a pound? I don't know offhand. It's over $100.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get over 100 rupees to the pound now, because I always just think of it 100 just to kind of get myself a bit of an idea for prices. But yeah, you get a lot for your money.
It's almost
if you're bringing
130 rupees, mate.
Wow.
And it's never been this. Brits would love. See, listen, this is a tourist destination. Come here and spend your money. You're getting bang for your buck. You're getting value for money. Get over here. Now's a good time from anywhere around the world. This Indian rupee's valuation sinks to over a decade. A low
over the last.
Can you believe it? $130 to the pound.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then it sinks to a low, but then all the prices are going up for everybody. That's what's really difficult.
It's tough, dude. It's 94 rupees to the dollar. Dude.
Wow.
Hammered.
Was that you last night?
Yeah, just like me. The old monk consumes some old monk, and I'm feeling a little bit worse for wear, but I'd do it again in a heartbeat. It's funny. I enjoyed myself with the boys. I got to talk about this St. Francis Xavier thing. We've got to mention it's a big trending topic right now. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a gentleman that made, I don't call him a gentleman, he's a nut job, who made some derogatory remarks at a meet. What was it? They had these guys speaking. What was it, Ajoy? There was an event where they had a bunch of speakers speak, and this guy came off the cuff and mentioned some stupid stuff about our beloved St. Francis Xavier.
It was what do you call an event that was happening in the south? I think in
Vasco, yeah.
Okay.
And
I don't even know his name.
This person by the name of Gautam Khattar, who's from what I've read, has a history of being controversial, very right wing, and he's a kind of a radical in a way. So he was very surprisingly invited to this event to speak about. I don't know what the topic was about, but he spoke about Saint Francis Xavier, and he had some very, very unflattering comments about.
Did he?
About Saint Francis Xavier.
What did he say?
Which is, we'll get to it. I'll show it to you.
I've got to say, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm a Catholic person, and St. Francis Xavier is big time in my books. There's a reason he's a saint, and there's a reason he is buried in Old Goa. So he mentioned this. This guy mentioned comments about people still come from all over the world. Can I tell you, it's people from all denominations, religions, creed, caste that come to visit and pay their respects to Francis Xavier, St. Francis Xavier. This guy's a right-wing, in my opinion, he's a nut job. Yeah. He's a divisive person. And that's not the kind of stuff you would say as an authority.
Well, he's not buried. St. Francis Xavier's not buried, though, is he?
No, he's not. Well, play this. I want to hear this, dude.
धरती पर मुझे आज कोई बता रहा था सेंट जेवियर नाम का जो आतंकवादी था, बर्बर क्रूर शासक था, उसकी कोई स्थान है जहां पर वो मरा था। अब उसकी शरीर को कीड़े लग गए। सेंट जेवियर की ना आत्मा बची ना शरीर बचा, उसकी हड्डियों को कीड़ों ने खा करके चूरा चूरा हो गया। उसके बाद भी उसका पता नहीं कौन सा फेस्टिवल होता है।
Okay, so this guy's an idiot, dude. We've got to be thicker skinned as humans, as Catholics, and I don't think he deserves to be arrested. He was arrested because of this, right? But this guy's a dumbass. Listen, that's something I'm so proud about being Goan, living here. We've lived side by side with Hindus, with Christians, with Muslims, with all Sikhs, with so many different, you know how many hundreds of years? And these are these goddamn right-wingers that come here and try to be divisive. And it's not, guys, you've got to be bigger. As a Catholic, I'm saying, you know what, turn the other cheek. This guy's an idiot. Take it for what it's worth. I don't think he deserves to be arrested, but you need to have these kind of people made more of an example of this is not what you want to grow up and be like.
No, I mean, I think that the organizers are saying that his comments were unfortunate.
Unfortunate is an understatement, mate.
It's absolutely an understatement. Of course, you've got to remember that when he was here in Goa, it was very different times. It was a very different climate.
You're talking about St. Francis Xavier.
Yes, when St. Francis was alive, when he was here, it was a very different climate, and obviously there was a lot of people going around the world, missionaries going around the world, trying to convert people to Christianity and Catholicism and all of that kind of stuff. Now, as you know, Old Goa is a World Heritage Site, and the fact that you've got St. Francis Xavier that's lying there, almost like lying there in state, is actually a privilege.
Yes.
And like you say, Mervyn, there's many people that come from all around India of every religion, and also the fact that people live in harmony in Goa. That's what we want. And these people trying to stir up right-wing politics globally is a problem. Never mind just here in Goa, in our backyard. We don't need it.
But here again, I want to say this to our Goans. I don't care if you're Catholic or not. I want to say it to all our Goans. Don't let these guys divide you. Don't fall for it, especially as Catholics. Don't let a dumbass come and make a stupid statement. Let him prove how ignorant he is, right? It's better to be considered a dumbass than open your mouth and prove it. So if this guy's made these remarks, okay, guy, you proved your point. Leaders should be uniting people, not dividing people.
Yeah.
We've lived here in a place where we love and we've lived with our neighbors. I celebrate all the feasts, all the holidays, and you respect each other. You respect each other. You respect each other's religions, your beliefs. And all. In Saligaon, we celebrate the Hindu festivals.
Yes.
Of course.
So these are guys, these are not Goans, first of all. There's some guys with their own opinions, but you as Catholics, you as Goans, don't fall for this. Don't let it divide you. Be proud of your heritage and what in all these hundreds of years, we've been living side by side in peace. Don't let these nut jobs come here and create this division.
So, Merv, I think I look at it from a different perspective. I think there is a double standard at play here. One is that, if you're having a freedom of speech, it should be applied uniformly across the board. Now, for example, if I were to study history and if I were to go by what I've read about St. Francis Xavier, he had a very strong opinions, and he did write letters calling for stronger action against people who were turning away from the faith. These are just facts. They're letters that they have, apparently. Okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, people. All right? So this guy, although he was kind of alluding to that fact, because apparently St. Francis Xavier, while he was in Goa, had written a letter to the heads of state or the people who were running political at that time to take stronger action in Goa. And then he left Goa, and he was not directly involved in it, but he wrote a letter to that effect. Now, having said that, if you want to quote that as history, that's great. That's fine, because it is part of history, right? But you are attacking our faith. He was not talking about history. He was not talking about facts. He didn't bring up those facts. He was talking about Kida and what have you. Making fun of the St. Francis Xavier festival. And this idiot. The thing is, you got to understand that it is not the Goans, the Hindu Goans who believe this. I know for a fact there's so many Hindu Goans who venerate St. Francis Xavier. By God, there are people from outside state during St. Francis Xavier's feast. They walk. I'm talking about non-Christians here.
Yeah.
They walk from outside state to come and venerate St. Francis Xavier.
Whether or not you agree, whether or not you believe, at the end of the day, show some respect, dude. You might have your own. Everybody's got their own opinions. It's the biggest democracy in the world. But at the end of the day, you need to respect people and religions.
But I want to end by saying this: we Goans have been united on this issue. The Hindus and Christians, and I must congratulate the government for taking action, because
No, Ajay, I disagree.
No, I'll tell you why. Because the point is that the double standard is, if you're going to have freedom of speech, let us have freedom of speech to talk about everything.
Why was he arrested?
No, he was arrested for making derogatory remarks.
But that's not freedom of speech.
So that's the thing. So if you don't want, like you said, you're saying let him speak, don't pay attention, then let's have absolute freedom of speech. That wherein everybody can speak about facts, do not cause anger, don't cause hate.
You cannot incite, you cannot defame, you cannot. You know what happens when you tweet or you on social media say anything bad about Narendra Modi? You will get in trouble, right? You know that, right? It's a fact. The fact of the matter remains, you've got to have brains. And you know what's scary? Sorry, Joe. You know what's even more scary? Forget about here and go. We understand this. You know the right-wingers around the country in India that are up in arms about a Hindu guy being arrested because he spoke about a religion.
Exactly.
That's what's scary, yeah? But you need education.
Yes.
You need these people around the country to understand, don't fall for this divisiveness and this stuff that divides people. But that's what's happening around the country with the right-wing Hindus, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think, did he mention that St. Francis was a terrorist?
He said that. Atantwadi, I think he did say that.
I don't want to get in. Dude, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're saying, Ajoy, that what he was saying was not really based on actual facts, that's the issue.
That is the
if
issue.
you're commenting on what did happen at the time and specifically any letters that he had written back to Portugal and all of that, then know your history, understand what it's all about. But you can't just say random things and then incite people against each other. I think the nice thing is across the board, he's been condemned for what he said.
That's what you'd want to see, right? You want to see more people condemn him for what he's saying, right?
That's his ignorance. Yeah. His ignorance, no?
Yeah, but speak about the facts. That's fine. You can say something that somebody else doesn't agree with. It gives you the freedom it gives you the right to listen, we're lucky. We're blessed to be in the largest democracy in the world that gives you you don't want to be in a country where you're suppressed.
But Merv, I must say, I absolutely detest the people from Goa. I can turn a blind eye to the ignorance and the radicals from outside our state, because I know our state, our people are way better in terms of harmony.
Always?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, when you have leaders like this that support.
Who's the leader? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Marvin Godino, for example. He was at that event, by the way, and at the event he didn't counteract what this guy was.
No.
But after the uproar, he turns coat. And he condemns. Why not condemn right there?
But that shows you courage. That shows you. Play it. I want to hear this dude.
मैं जानता हूं कई सालों में हमारे थोड़ा लीडर लोगों ने, दूसरे पक्ष के लीडर लोगों ने ये स्थिति थोड़ा मतलब बिगाड़ डाला. इसलिए शायद कट्टर जी को भी ऐसा बात करना पड़ता है, हमारे बहन को भी ऐसा बात करना पड़ता है.
He's a politician.
गलती आप लोगों का नहीं है, हमारे जो पहले लीडर थे दूसरे पक्ष के, उनका गलती है. लोगों को मतलब दूसरे रास्ते पे ले गए.
Serious?
ये आप लोग करेक्शन कर रहे.
जो जी घटना काल झाला ती म्हाका दिसता आमचे सगळे गोंयकारांक खूब दुख जाला की येदे व्हडले आमचे जे गोंयचे सांत म्हूण मागता आमचो गोंयचो सायब सेंट फ्रांसीस झेवियर तेजेर एक स्टेटमेंट केलो तो हांव पयलो टोटली निषेध करता.
What a bullshitter, dude. That's a definition of a politician. That's scary, because you know what? You'd respect somebody for standing up and saying what's right. You're not going to be on the stage agreeing with somebody because of the crowd watching or listening and then flip your story. But that's what politics has gotten to, right? You want somebody of character to call a spade a spade. Yeah. Respect and unite. Don't goddamn well play the crowd, mate.
I'll tell you what, but that's where I'm very proud of our Goans. They have, they've united. They've come together and condemned this statement. And they've not played this double shuffle like this politician.
But he's a politician, Ajoy.
But we expect better from our politicians. Yes. We should expect him to be with us, have the same sentiments, in the sense you have your opinions, but when it comes to certain things, you don't compromise.
Well, I'm you know what? I'm going to say the same thing about my boy. I used to call him my boy. He's a dumbass. Raghav Chados played the same game, right? I'm not going to talk about it now. I'm not going to get into it right now, but he's done the same thing. He's not my boy anymore. I was impressed because he was a young buck dude, and he was doing great things and incorporating technology into the system and trying to make the system better, the archaic system better. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about him, but he's an idiot. Same thing. Politics are like fish, flip-flopping, dude. Here again, Ajoy, let me ask you this question. Goa, Marathi or Konkani? Joanne, I'm asking. Come on, Ajoy.
It's got to be Konkani.
Why, Ajoy? What spit it, dude. What do you?
I feel if we have had an opinion poll where we've separated ourselves
Hey, Movin.
from
Movin,
I'm going by facts here, by facts.
What is your don't be a Movin Goodino.
I'm giving you
Marathi or Konkani, sang.
I am giving you an exact answer. We separated from Maharashtra for a reason, and because we consider ourselves, speaking the language of Konkani.
Why?
Because we are Goans.
Konkan belt, right?
Yeah.
We've come from the Konkan belt.
Yes.
We're not ashamed of Maharashtra. We're not ashamed of Marathi, but it's our identity. Konkani is the local Goan spoken language.
Yeah.
Why should I want to be like anybody else?
You've got close ties to Maharashtra, which
Yes.
you
And
can't
I love Maharashtra.
negate
I was
that, of
born in
course.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
I love it. Great. But don't try and change that here and turn around and say that we need to make Goa's identity Marathi. That's not what it's
I
about.
agree. And I think that all around the world, people are trying to maintain their local languages. I know it happens in Ireland, it happens in Wales. And I think absolutely you have to keep these local languages alive, because also the history, the storytelling of the spoken word of history is given in a lot of local languages, and, a lot of the legends and things that people hold true to their own identity. And I think it's very, very important to make sure that you hold on to that.
We've had freedom fighters fight for many, many years.
Yeah.
Some of the most, they've blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
Not to change down the road like this is a democracy, guys. You need to be proud of your heritage. We've had freedom fighters fight for what we enjoy today, and we need to salute them. We need to respect them. Sorry, go on.
See, Merv,
Who's this dude?
this is a very famous historian of Goa. He himself so says Konkani was, is, and will always remain Goa's identity. He is historian Prajal Sakardande.
I agree with him.
See, Marathi, there will be people who speak Marathi, especially when coming to the borders of
Yeah.
Maharashtra. There would be.
Nothing wrong with that, Baba.
And you know what? They have a status of, I think, almost in terms of an official language of Goa, but they don't need to be made the absolute official language of Goa. The official language of Goa is Konkani, will always be Konkani.
And should always be
Should always
Konkani,
be.
right?
We
Nothing
want our
wrong with
identity.
Marathi, nothing wrong with Hindi.
Yes.
Konkani is your language, though, right? Why do you want to change your identity? Why do you want to lose your heritage? We've got a rich heritage, right? You wouldn't go into Mumbai and say, you know what, change your language to Hindi. Hindi is your national language. Nothing wrong with that. Respect that. But I'm saying you're going to disrespect a lot of people that have got us to where we are today. And that's what's sad. Did you see this woman, dude, speaking of opinions and having the right to be able to speak your mind? There was this woman, I saw it on social media, dude. She goes ape shit on the cops because of a BJP. Here, this is one play. Show me this, dude. Is there any audio?
Yeah, this audio in this one. One second.
She was supposed to be picking up her son.
मुझे प्रॉब्लम है कि मैं इस रोड पर 1 घंटे से ज्यादा खड़ी हूँ। क्यों खड़ी हूँ?
My God, she is pissed, dude. She's telling the cops, shut up, yeah?
He's shouting back at her.
Can you... Ajay, pause this. First of all, you need to respect your goddamn... They're their authority. They're doing their jobs. Can you imagine being her husband, dude?
No. The Merv.
Oh my
no
God.
joke.
What a bitch.
No.
Absolutely no. Listen,
Sorry, you have to apologize for that.
Not at all. I will not. She needs to learn. Listen, everybody gets pissed off. Behave like an You're upset. You're pissed off because these idiots are blocking the roads. There's a way you speak to authority, not the way you yell and goddamn will scream. Don't be entitled. Don't be a Karen.
I totally disagree with you.
Okay.
And she deserves an apology.
Not at all.
I'll tell you why.
Why would you?
I'll tell you why. Because you know what? If this country had common sense, they would realize that you would not have a rally, give permissions. Police would not give permissions to a rally at the peak hour traffic in Mumbai, that too, when this woman was waiting to go and get her child. A child is waiting for her.
We're talking about two different things.
For 1 hour and more than 1 hour.
We're talking about two different things.
Same.
We're talking about two different goddamn things. We're talking about the way you respect each other and speak to other people. And these aren't the guys that created the rally. You get pissed off all you want to at the authorities that allowed this to happen, but you will respect authority.
How do you get pissed off? If you think a letter was going to change things,
why not take a gun and shoot everybody? You're pissed off. Is that allowed? That separates human from animal. This is not the way you behave.
My friend,
you can be pissed off all you want to, Ajoy, but this is not an example.
My friend, we live in a zoo here in India.
Maybe.
We are animals.
Maybe. So you should behave like an animal?
No. There's no other way. That's the only.
There's no other way to yell and scream at authority. They should have locked her the fuck up.
No way.
She doesn't deserve to be speaking
Why
to.
you can't lock someone up for
Joanne,
shouting.
but I'm not agreeing with the way she's behaved. All I'm saying to you is, yes, I get pissed off all the time. That doesn't give me the right to yell and scream at somebody else. I don't agree with a lot of stuff, but as a human, you got to think about these guys should not be allowed. I'm disagreeing with the BJP being held. What she's saying is there are Maidans. Put them in the Maidan. You're delaying me from picking up my child. But that's not the way to behave.
Yeah, but I think there's many things that are wrong with this. The fact is that, like you say, they're doing this at peak hour when people have got to get across town. They got to pick up kids.
Exactly.
Of course,
that kind of stuff.
I'm not agreeing with that. I'm not agreeing with that either.
Mo, how do you exact change? You think we're going to write a letter, give them a little bit of chocolate, and they're going to not come on the roads?
And you're changing it by doing this, by behaving this way?
The poor woman has no other choice.
And that's the way you behave?
She has a child. The child could be autistic, could be medical
on her deathbed by screaming. So are you going to get that kid back to life?
So you're going to keep quiet and just allow it?
No, don't keep quiet.
What a foolish thing to think.
Don't keep quiet about it. Nobody said keep quiet about it. Right to the authorities. You really think it's going to change by yelling?
They've been writing since 1947.
And by yelling and screaming, going to change it?
Merv.
By yelling and screaming, are you going to change it?
Listen, you got to understand.
If by behaving like an animal, you're going to change it by yelling and screaming at a cop who's only stuck in the process. You may be as frustrated as you want to be. That's not the way to behave. He didn't give him the permission, by the way.
That's where you're wrong. First of all, it's so compromised. The system is so bloody screwed up.
The system's screwed up.
Wait.
Don't behave like an animal, man.
Take a minute. Rao, I'm explaining to you what really happens. These stupid police, I'm sorry to say, they will not allow other rallies. What happened in Azad Maidan? Didn't they put a ban there?
I'm not agreeing with that. I am not agreeing with that. I am disagreeing. I am disagreeing with her behavior.
Wait, Merv.
No. Don't listen. Get one goddamn thing straight. I am disagreeing with her behavior.
Please understand. Wait.
I don't need to understand. I've seen what I've seen.
No.
So it's her behavior that I'm disagreeing with. I am not agreeing with. Listen, yeah, you may be. But I'm still saying that's not the way you behave. We just talked about this other idiot that came out on stage and said what he said. Grow a brain. That's not going to fix your goddamn problem, mate. You've got the freedom of speech, and you're lucky she got away with what she did.
Listen,
but that's not the way you behave. Lead by example, Ajoy.
Screw example here in India.
No. Then you become an animal.
Listen.
Then you become like the rest of them, right?
If I have an emergency, and I say there's somebody in my family who's facing an emergency, and I have to wait for 2 hours with no other alternate route to get to my family, you better not be in my way.
The ways justify the means? The ways justify the means? Say yes or no. Say yes, agree or disagree.
To allow my loved one to die.
And screaming is going to get your loved one back to life?
Yeah, but Mervyn, we've also got someone watching in Canada who's saying she's a mother, and obviously she was upset with the authorities, but she's also doing her job. So she's protecting. So she was a tigress protecting her own child.
I agree 100%. She should be as frustrated. I'd be pissed off, mate.
Yeah.
Does that make it right whether she's screaming or swinging a lathi to get these people out of the way? Does that justify the way she behaved towards the police or anybody? Forget the police. These are authority figures doing their job. They should not have given the permission. And I agree with you, Ajoy. You should not be allowed to protest and disrupt everybody else. Do your thing, right? But that's not the way to behave. I only have a problem with the way she behaved.
I'll give you one more example before we move on. Remember that time where there was a protest at Azad Maidan and they started walking towards Vishwajit's house?
Yep.
These cops came and just put a bus.
Wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. I'm agreeing with you. It's wrong.
And that road was the only road to get to GMC, to Manipal Hospital. So what if there was an ambulance waiting there?
Ajoy, I'm not agreeing with the police. I'm saying that was wrong of the police to do what they did.
But that be nice model citizens when
you're losing a lot of respect in my eyes, mate, by justifying the way somebody behaves. And again, I'm saying to you, that differentiates us from the animals. You cannot react to your emotion. control yourself. Yes, I agree. I'm not agreeing with the cops. I'm not agreeing with what they allow to happen in Azad Maidan or in blocking traffic and letting this poor woman get to her child. That's not the way you behave.
Can I ask you? I'm going to put you in a be a little personal. Say you were in that woman's shoes. You were stuck in traffic. You're a taxpayer, by the way. Okay, you never called for public roads to be closed for somebody else's political rally. Okay, and you had to get to your mother. Would you have been calm?
Absolutely not.
Nah,
but I wouldn't behave that way. I've been brought up better. I've been taught better. And that's the difference between me and that woman. My parents did a different job with me than they did. Listen, and people have mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, but I correct my mistakes and I know when I'm right or wrong. I don't want to, I'm not, listen, mate, I'm not trying to be bigger than thou. Of course, you had every reason to be frustrated and furious. That doesn't allow you to take a gun out and start shooting people or a wooden bamboo out and start beating people or raise your voice and screaming and yelling. No more. I'm done. Next topic.
I wanted to ask one question. It says that she confronts a minister. I can only see her confronting a policeman there.
She does confront a minister. This is the minister right there.
Oh, okay. Right.
So,
okay.
And guess what? They filed a FIR against her.
That's wrong too, right? And that's wrong. No, but that's the way she behaved. You scream at the minister, scream at authority. I agree with you 100%. But I'm saying to you, there's a way to behave to get results. And you can be, I get frustrated all the time, Joy. I'm not a saint at all. I break rules. I make mistakes all the time. I understand. But that's the point I'm trying to make. I don't agree with the way she behaved to the police. Okay.
And one thing I want to say, by the way, Amul.
Last thing.
Amul agrees with her. Okay, she has every right to question.
Don't they keep stepping in though? I've seen a lot of things. I think they're stepping in in social media with a lot of topical stories. I think obviously to get themselves extra promotion.
But they're smart, dude. Amul is very smart about it.
I correct myself. This is not by Amul, but by a fan.
Yeah.
A fan of Amul. Like
Amul wouldn't be stupid enough to make a thing like this, dude. It's not. I don't agree with it. Whatever. That's my opinion.
But also, we were talking about freedom fighters as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, that's part of identity.
Yeah.
That's part of respect. That's part of education. These guys, freedom fighters, have given their lives. And there's still people around today, very, very brave. People that have committed them to a cause, and they allow us, like the military people that give us the freedoms we enjoy, right? These are the kind of people that you respect for what they've done. You're getting to Dr. Jack Sequeira?
Yeah.
What about?
Yeah, so essentially there's a proposal to install a statue of him in Kurturim.
Kurturim. Come on, spit it out.
Yeah, so essentially they have submitted a proposal to commemorate him because he rallied Goa together to really get them to vote against Goa becoming part of the state of Maharashtra, because obviously we were talking about that as well. So they want to commemorate him, which I think really you should be doing.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, Mark. Instead of inviting bums like Qatar into Goa, why not celebrate our real history, real heroes, right?
But I agree, Ajay. I agree 100%. Dr. Jack Sequeira, we've got a couple of statues here in Kalangut and in Kandoli. We've got statues, but he's a big-time guy, dude.
I don't think they even have a photo of the freedom fighters in our secretariat. There are photos of somebody who's not even a freedom fighter, who's very controversial, who's not even Goan, in our secretariat. Can you believe that?
But then you need to change that, right? You need your leaders, the people that you elect, to make the change.
We have people like Tristan de Braganza Cunha. We have Dr. Giuliano Menezes, Ram Manohar Loya, Parshutam Kakodkar, TB Cunha.
Where are you coming up with these names? These are all freedom fighters, right?
Yeah, these are all freedom fighters. Do you know who these guys are?
No, never heard of them.
I've
heard of Dr. Jack Sequeira.
Yes, so we should be celebrating these guys. I say, instead of, with all due respect to people who venerate Shivaji, that is last. Our freedom fighters come first. People who have actually made this state, who have put their lives at risk to get us the freedom that you and I enjoy today, they are the real heroes.
Ajay, how do you change that though? You need your leaders to take notice of this, right? And they should be. How would you? What would you want to do?
One is our education system should be focused on that. You should be
part of the history of Goa.
You should learn your history, of course.
We are learning about this, that, and the other. First thing we should be learning about this, And let's not be ashamed of our history also. Like, for example, I've heard that there are a lot of relics from the Portuguese days. Show to us, show to the world, show to the good and bad side of the Portuguese.
I've never heard of a museum in Goa, by the way, that has all these historical artifacts.
It's all hidden away.
I don't know it's hidden away.
It is.
Don't be making up shit,
Hidden
dude.
away in the sense it is not showcased in a way that it'll be, you can walk through and see, okay, this is what happened in this century, blah, blah, blah.
But the Shinkeri jailers, they've done a good job.
But that's only highlighting the jail, sweetie.
Yeah, they've also got a film that they play, and they're also talking about the freedom fighters. They actually have a memorial to the freedom fighters, and they also play Radio Goa so that you can actually hear when it was declared that they were victorious.
Can I just say they've done a brilliant job. If you get a chance to visit the jail,
yeah,
we're not being paid, by the way, for this. We're not trying to, but they've done a brilliant job promoting the history of the jail.
Yeah,
and keeping everything. And you know, really pissed me off when I've been there a couple of times. One of the times when I went into a couple of the cells, these not so very nice people, excuse me, have lambied and puttied over the I would have loved to see the inscriptions that were carved by the actual prisoners.
Oh,
dude.
how sad.
That's the history.
But they've done. You know what? That's a mistake they've made. But the sad thing is that you've lost a lot of so many historical facts, like you're mentioning, Ajoy, about these freedom fighters.
Yeah.
We should have a tourist destination. Screw the fort and all these other things that are going to be around. Obviously, they got to be taken care of. But we should have a museum commemorating and highlighting and spotlighting the work that's being done by all these. I didn't even know these. I've never heard these names, dude. But we should have a museum where tourists can come, or anybody can come and learn about the history of Goa, artifacts, and the people.
Forget the tourists. We should be going there.
Yes, I agree.
But it should be taught in your schools. Is it not taught in your school?
History.
Yes.
Is it not taught in Goan schools?
Not enough. Not enough. It's a glance. I think it's not. There's not too much focus on it.
Can I ask you a question?
You're talking about Konkani, but by the way, I want to say, how many of us actually speak Konkani at home?
Baba, माझ्या घरा बायला मरते कोंकणी उलो ना किती आज किती करू सांग.
And this is a problem, especially with people like you and me. I don't know about your family. I'm talking about my family. A lot of us don't speak Konkani at home.
But English has always been our primary language, Ajoy.
No, Portuguese used to be. You want to make
bollocks?
I'm not kidding you.
No, you're talking about your family.
My family, we always spoke English. Hindi was taught to me in Mumbai in school. Marathi was taught to me. I've never learned Konkani because I never lived here. But it should be taught in school.
But that's not my excuse. We also speak primarily English at home.
Faltu Goinkar.
Yeah, that's what. I'm a Faltu Goinkar. And I should not be talking about Konkani language. It should be number one, number two. When you never did the work to actually protect the language by speaking it, right?
Yeah, but do you know what? I was also.
Do you speak Konkani, Joanne?
Yeah, of
Come on, Joanne, speak something. Come on.
Zale.
That's it.
That's it. I just wanted to also say that I was watching a TV program last night about Northern Ireland, and
oh my God,
the language of the Irish language has traditionally been learnt by people from the Republic of Ireland.
What's it called? Not Gaelic. What is Gaelic?
Gaelic is a language that is kind of shared with Ireland, Scotland, and Wales a little bit. But anyway, what I'm making the point because the Protestants and the Catholics, there's always been this huge problem between Protestants and Catholics in Ireland. However, they're trying to also learn the Irish language across the board to bring the communities together as well. And I think that's absolutely right. You need to be able to do that, to have that healing within your shared history as well.
I find a lot of our young guys speaking Hindi.
That pisses me off. There's nothing wrong with Hindi. Hindi is our national language. But here in Goa, speak Konkani, no?
Correct.
Huh? Certain, especially when it's spoken to me, dude. When somebody speaks to me in Hindi, like I'm a... What is it called? Bingta? No, Bingta, no.
Right.
No, Bingadakar or something. Bikna. Baba, Konkani olore maka. Undir mujhe mama. Ani ao santa tuka. Sing some Lorna songs, dude. That's what you need. Listen, you need more of our ancestry, our history. Somebody like a Lorna, study her. All these, by the way, I'm making fun, but I'm just telling you, all those names that you mentioned, these are the guys that fought for our identity.
Yes.
And that needs to be preserved.
Absolutely, you have to do that.
Okay.
You have to
What else?
do that.
You want me to sing some more? I'll sing some more.
Yeah, please do.
Dun, 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 dun,
No, don't take us off air because it's not licensed music.
I will get-
I don't think they want to license that.
What are you trying to say, mate? They couldn't tell the song I'm singing because of
You
the...
can
Ata,
sing.
Kaan Dukoita.
FYI, I have a Konkani song on my YouTube channel.
Sangre.
You know, I could-
Sing, no, really, I'll give you $100 bucks.
Your YouTube channel? What's this now?
What's your YouTube channel, Baba?
What's it called?
First, let him sing. I want to hear him singing a Konkani song. Sangre.
You can listen to it.
Oh my God! Now he's gonna try and load and put something.
Ek minute.
Play me. I'm 7 notes. That song Dakota is stuck in my head now. I'm gonna keep singing it throughout the show. While Willie looks for his YouTube channel, the song he plays on his. You gonna put it right now?
Let's do it, right?
Are you kidding me? All right, play it. Whatever. Joanne, I want to get into the. I'm done with this thing. Let's get into something. What do you want to talk about, sweetie?
Well, we were going to talk about what was going on in Margao regarding the.
Oh, that's silly. I don't want to.
Oh, you don't want to talk about
The garden design.
designs?
They
Okay.
had a standoff with the police.
Okay, you don't
Mention it quickly.
Well, that's it. If you don't want to talk about it, don't talk about
Don't
it.
talk about it. Move along. But that's sad, right? At least you got the local community. They got up in arms about these. What was it about the design?
The redesign of the gardens, and they're saying that there's a lack of transparency regarding the actual plans, and a group of people had actually got blown up images.
Blown up? Oh.
Blown up
Woo,
images
finish
of
that
the
sentence.
plans to show in the gardens. However, the police were saying they weren't allowed to show them in the gardens, and there was this 2-hour standoff between the police and the people who were wanting to debate the plans themselves, and they were essentially saying, what's going on? This is not the plan that seemed to be the approved plan.
That's it. This is the MMC, the Margao, the CCP. It's sad because the park is being built for the people, and they should have every right to have their opinions. But there's only going to be a certain amount of things or a certain number of people that you can make happy, you can appease.
Yeah.
So it's sad, but good for them for standing up.
You know what?
Son.
If the police is trying to stop you from talking about a public facility, that means there's something afoot. And something that's...
Yeah, but you don't know the whole story, Ajul.
No, Murph, listen, we live in a democratic country, and we should be able to discuss things like mature people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially about a public space, if they're coming up with a plan and the public want to talk about that plan, you are nobody to stop them from talking.
Residents of Margao have voiced strong concerns of the lack of transparency in proposed garden beautification plans. After significant public opposition, authorities released the project details for review. Citizens are now questioning the key aspects, including the inclusion of cafeteria parking arrangements and potential misuse of public funds. There it is.
Yeah.
That's what. So why should
Ding, 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 ding. No, you're talking about the misuse of public funds. Somebody's got their hand in the cookie jar, and that's potentially why. We don't know all the facts. Ladies and gentlemen, you listen to the Murray Brito Show, and the opinions expressed on this show are our own individual opinions and not the expressed or implied opinions of the show. My opinion is this is what's caused the problem, by the way, that they're getting into misused funds, and this could get contentious. Galno.
सध्या कितें जालें तें सांगता पेपरार एक येता आनी एक करतात भलतेच खरें म्हळ्यार सगळ्यांनी आतां खऱ्यांनीच भिवपाचें पेपराचेर पासून आतां हांचेर कोणाचेर विश्वास दवरपाचो ना आमी तांकां स्ट्रॉंगली डिमांड करता पळय सगळ्यांनी सगळें सांगलें हांव तातूंत भितर डिटेलान वचना पूण हांव क्लियर डिमांड सांगता दीस प्रोजेक्ट शूड बी स्क्रॅप्ड विथ
Ajay, he's saying what you're saying, similar to what you're saying. It's the opinions of the people that matter. You should not be censored.
Exactly.
But this guy on I don't know who the hell this guy is, but he's absolutely right? Everybody should have a right to be heard. But there's a limit. There's a limit to to follow the rules. There's rules and laws in place. Just follow the rules, dude. He has every right to be upset because he's not agreeing or the community's not in agreement with what's happening. They should have
Essentially, they don't want an open space and for a garden to become concretized.
Yeah, they don't want it to be a parking lot.
And in a country where we have 1.4 billion people, open spaces are what do you call a luxury.
Yes.
And you know what? Our government, let's be honest, our government is not bothered about green lungs for the city. like in Singapore, apparently they have a law, a policy that every citizen should be able to walk to a park within 10 minutes of a park.
Yeah.
Do we have that kind of thinking here?
Why don't you have that kind of situation? Ajay, I agree with you 100%, dude. I'm playing devil's advocate. Why don't you have that? This woman screaming at the cops. Why don't you have people with brains not allowing these things to happen at rush hour, where people have to, people have really important jobs and chores and things they need to do, right? You're talking about next level about parks and stuff like that, right? We talked about the lakes. We're going to talk, we should be getting those lakes, by the way. Mention the lakes, right? But the fact of the matter remains, these guys are pissed off in Margao, but they have every right to be questioning your leaders. Why aren't your leaders doing their jobs and more of what should be done? And that's the whole idea why we do the show. You want to highlight and spotlight things that may potentially be right, may potentially be wrong, but talk about them, discuss them. We can talk about our disagreements with religion. We can talk about our disagreements with whatever the hell may be. This is a democracy, and that's what you should be allowed to do. And you'd expect leaders to use their brains and do their jobs. We're putting our vishwas, our trust in these guys to do their jobs. We've elected you guys. And after how many years are we finally figuring out, guys, it's just the same bullshit, different year. No? Exactly. You're electing these guys into power.
You won't find these kind of frictions between government and public in Singapore. Whether it be a woman wanting to get to a child, or people want to discuss in a transparent
because
manner.
People have more brains, dude.
And they have more responsible governments, right? People who are working for their people.
The leaders.
Yeah.
The leaders that you trust.
Something clearly wrong with our governance system, clearly.
They're talking about India becomes, Goa becomes one of India's most expensive places to eat. That's something I would never believe in a million years. We've got some of the most beautiful cuisine amongst the warm culture, the beautiful landscape. Food has never been considered expensive. Can you believe Goa? This is in the Heraldo, right?
Yeah.
Goa is India's most expensive state to eat out. How? Where? When? Booze used to be available here and cheap. Food used to be available. Every kind of food you could buy. You know why? Can I tell you why? Because of Asagam.
It's the gentrification.
I'm blaming Asagam. You got all these high funda fancy places that are coming and popping up like mushrooms, and they're replicating from Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, all these big chain restaurants that charge you an arm and a leg. Food in Goa, Goan food or food in Goa at the local restaurants is not expensive. They need to justify the statement and talk about it's the high funda fancy joints that you go and pay $1,000 for an entree kind of thing.
So are you saying that because of Asaguragaon,
I love that name, dude.
Asaguragaon, the prices of food in Goa is so expensive? Is that what you're saying?
I think they need to listen, to make a blanket statement, Goa is getting too expensive. It depends on what your outlook is. I love my sumtachi. This thing, samarachi sumtachi kori marithali dire maka. I'm happy. You give me some torra, you give me some miskut, you give me some papad, you give me some what is it called? Bangra. What is it when they fried? Kurkure, no? Bangra kurkure. But if you're going to have a fancy flippin' meal and you want a Michelin star cuisine, of course you're going to pay for it. It's going to be expensive. That's not what Goa's about. And like you talk about the culture, the saints, the churches, the temples, the mosques, the history, local food shouldn't be expensive, and it's not. It depends on where you go, right?
Yeah, of course.
What's this map? Expensive food destination. Look at the prices, dude.
According to this map, it's saying that Goa is India's most expensive food destination because the average price per meal works out to 450 rupees per head, whereas others are not as expensive. Like Mumbai, in Gujarat you can get it for 270 rupees per
In Lakshadweep you get it for 200 rupees, and that's an island.
Yeah, there you go.
That's saying a lot, no?
What does it say about Maharashtra? Oh, I can't see anything here.
Maharashtra 340, no? Maharashtra 340, it says right there. I love this map, by the way.
Correct.
I like this map, yeah? What is the cheapest? Give me the cheapest. 170 in Jharkhand. 150 in Bihar. Yeah, but you want to live in Bihar, mate? I'd pay the prices in Goa. I ain't moving to Bihar, son.
I got to question this statistic because it's not reflecting in our tourists. We're getting... We're still getting cheap as tourists in Goa. So how is this even possible? Like if it's that expensive, clearly you have to have more well-heeled
You need to
tourists,
qualify
right?
this statement. You need to qualify. It depends on what kind of food and where you eating your meals to charge you an average of $450. And wow.
I think the average gets skewed by the fact that you do actually have some very high-end restaurants and some fine dining restaurants, and I think that's exactly
what it is, though, Joe. I think that's what it is.
That's how it gets skewed, because you can still eat well at reasonable prices here in Goa. But of course, it's very true that it is going up. But you have to give credit to India Data Map, because these are the guys that have actually put this survey together, or not necessarily survey, compiled these results. So
I've never seen this before in my life. I'm so glad you all pointed this out to me. Sorry, Joanne, go on.
No, I'm just saying you have to give them credit, because obviously they've compiled all the data so that you could actually just see that Goa is topping the charts.
Can I tell you?
The most expensive place to eat out.
The national average is 230. We're more than double there. 460 would be double. We're 450. I've been to Longinhos in Margao, my favorite. Think about it, right? We've gone and eaten your tongue roast, your pork roast, your whatever, all the meal, going fare, right? Curries and all, and it's still relatively economical, right?
Absolutely. Annapurna, that we go very regularly.
Say that again. What's your place?
Oh, shut up.
Say it, sweetie. Say it. No. Guess what she's saying. Say it one more time.
No.
Sangmago.
No, it's a big mountain.
Annapurna, right here in Para Circle, where we're going to have next to the shawarma place and all. It's very reasonable. The point I'm trying to make is, if you go to an Izumi, if you go to all these big international brands, these Michelin star, but I don't know if they've taken the India Data Map company who's put this map together, has taken that into consideration. My biryani costs $200 now, dude. Can you believe 100 rupee or 120, 150 rupee biryani now, because of gas problems, is at 190, 200? Maybe that's the reason this is all happening.
Yeah.
Lastly, my Bhatti village, my Annapurna, my Longinhos, still my favorite restaurants, and I'm blessed because here in Goa you can get whatever you want to, and I still choose my local Goan Sungtachi Kodi ani Shit Kodi ani the simple stuff, dude. I don't need the jazzy fancy stuff that costs you an arm and a leg. It's getting more expensive for sure.
Yeah.
We've seen that over the last few years now with all the big names coming to Goa.
Yeah.
But I mentioned briefly about I'm going to segue into the tourists and what you come to Goa for and what we need to sustain our beautiful state. We talked about this River Sal and Maya Lake.
Yeah.
Quickly.
So
what is the developments?
Yeah, so this is very concerning. You can see here from this news.
Sorry, Joe, this was in the Heraldo, yeah?
Yeah. So we obviously have to acknowledge all of the news outlets that we've got all the data from for the show itself. So we do thank you very much. And we acknowledge and credit you for us helping us with our research for the show. But this is really very, very scary, because this whole audit has occurred. Like, essentially the drone has with a drone they've actually been able to map the river itself. So they actually surveyed was about 4 kilometers
look at this dude
worth of river, and they've obviously seen that there's huge amounts of pollution spread across the whole river.
It's a mess. And can I tell you, I was doing a site survey the other day, and I saw this house, and there was a little nala between the two houses, and you could see the piles of plastic. Look at this picture, by the way, on the screen.
This is AI generated, by the way.
I know, but I'm saying to you, I saw this outside the window of this big, fancy Portuguese house in a nala. Right?
Outside.
So you see the garbage that's being tossed out, and people don't, until today, everybody you speak to always says, you need to teach kids in school how to take care of the environment, put litter in its place. But this is the pollution. Ajo, you mentioned about how they divided that water body with the construction, remember? Last week's show.
Yeah.
And it's killed the oxygenation in the water.
That's right. And I think there's been a development regarding that. But it's pretty slow. We should be taking very harsh measures against people who pollute.
Yeah.
Like in the case of the River Sal, I think they have found 38 points of dumping.
There are 32 dumping points and 38 garbage zones, they're saying.
In the lake.
Yes, in that 4.4 kilometer stretch, which is horrendous.
I said to you earlier, you've got faith in your leaders, in the elected officials, the public government servants that are supposed to be doing their jobs. Who's the Minister of the Environment?
I'm sure.
I don't know. I'm just asking the questions. Why is this being allowed to happen? If it is happening, why is it not being highlighted and stopped, no?
Yeah.
Somebody needs to step in and do their jobs.
So in the case of Mala, we had highlighted last week that there was a huge amount of dead fish. And because, it was getting bad, stinking, whatever, the authorities cleaned the lake. But apparently there's still open drains, still polluting the Mala Lake.
Horrendous.
So on the surface level, no pun intended, we have cleaned everything. But it's the thing that actually caused the fish to die still continues.
Yeah.
Bravo, guys. We're solving the problem.
He's being sarcastic. They're not solving the problem. And then that's exactly why you need to hold your government. Look at that. That's not AI generated, is it?
No, this is not. This is the real picture.
That's what you need to have people held accountable for not doing their jobs. And it's only when you make a noise about things do people sit up and take notice. And that's why we do the show.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I'm saying they're saying it's been visible for years. And that's the problem. Now,
Sweetie, I don't think this has been visible for years.
Sitting up and taking notice.
Oh.
And
the pollution and the polluting of your body. Listen, we talked about on how many shows ago, Adro, did you mention about the sewage going into the ocean?
Many times.
Yeah?
More than a couple.
So this is not something new. This is a place that you love. You just mentioned Singapore by chance, having parks and all this kind of fancy. It's not. This is commonsensical stuff. If you love your citizens, you want to take care of your health. You should have a hell of a lot more trees and less pollution, guys. And this is what the authorities need to sit up and take notice. Take a trip. I'll pay for the goddamn trip. Get them overseas. Let them experience a Singapore or Malaysia. Not you, Audrey. I know you're looking at me, boy.
I was going to say, don't you talk about trips to me right now, mister.
We have tourism junkets where they've done all these trips, my friend.
Why haven't they learned? Duty free mare, duty free ka whiskey mare, black label. Are Baba, the best thing about doing these junkets overseas is you get to go to duty free and cigarettes and booze are in duty free and they're half the price. Guys, we might be laughing about this, but this is sad because this is our backyard. And it's happening, and it continues to happen. You see the pollution in the rivers. All of that goes into the ocean. You see the plastics. You see the dumping. You see the garbage. But that's why you want your authorities to step up and do their jobs. And if you're not doing their job, get the heck out of politics and get somebody who's willing to do it.
Yeah, I mean, in the UK, they're actually talking about banning forever chemicals, which is one thing.
Sweetie, that's a whole new can of worms.
A whole new can of worms. But obviously, when you're working and you've got these sites that are near a water body, and then this is, being dispersed and distributed into these water bodies. We're also talking about things like plastic and rubbish that's being dumped and thrown in these common areas, communal areas. And this, of course, you've got fish that are no longer safe to eat. We've got to look after our environment. We've got to look after our own health. And this is what's concerning, really, to me.
But who's watching the watcher? Why are the people in charge not doing their jobs? There were a couple of things that we were going to speak about. I was talking about, we spoke about the open drains that pollute Mala Lake. We spoke about the River Sal, right?
Yeah.
There was a big deal that was made about
the candlelight vigil.
The candlelight vigil. We spoke about the protest of the felling of the 200-year-old tree.
Yeah, that's the candlelight vigil.
Yeah, but I'm saying the stray dogs in Goa, demanding the immediate action on stray dogs in Goa. 400 plus illegal structures expose Goa's coastal lawlessness. All these things are happening right now. Yeah. And Joanne, we couldn't fix these problems. Why do they need in protest to cut a 200-year-old tree to prove a point?
No, it's not in protest. There was the candlelight vigil. These people were protesting about the fact that even though there was a stay order to not cut these trees down, they were still cut down. There was that, we talked about it last week, there was that midnight operation whereby they were cut down and taken away in the dead of night.
Can I ask you a question?
So people went and protested about it and they had a candlelight vigil.
Can I ask you a question?
Go.
Did anybody go to jail over this cutting of the tree?
Nada.
No.
Do we know about that? We're sure not.
I'm sure that nothing's come about it. And trust me, you're going to have another case where another tree has
But that's the shame, right, Ajay? Because people are not doing it. The authorities need to do their jobs, man. If you've done something illegally, you pay the fine, you go to jail, you do whatever you need to do because you broke the law.
Yeah.
But what's worse is these guys have done this knowingly. They've done it at night because I'm so proud of these people for standing up. The protest at candlelight vigil brings light to a topic, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Brings light to a topic that nobody would otherwise know about.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do the show every week. This is the Merv Brito Show. We do the show every week specifically for this reason. If we can do our own little 2 cents to highlight these topics.
Yeah. So actually, again, because I was watching this program about Ireland yesterday.
Oh my God.
They were talking about the fact that they still believe in fairies and that there are fairies that have influence over
I know
the
a couple of
lights in
fairies
the
here in
Emerald
Goa.
Isle.
I know a couple of fairies that are still around here in Goa.
Well, whatever the case, what I'm saying is about with this particular program, they actually showed that there was this bush where they'd actually diverted the motorway around a huge bush where they said that fairies lived in Ireland.
That's a bit extreme,
True,
huh?
it's true.
Let me tell you, in America, the metro would shut down because there was an animal on the tracks, or they have to say, listen, that's extreme. You know, I love it. I respect it. It never happens here. You got people being killed on the train tracks. It doesn't shut down the metro for a minute. But I'm saying to you, there's the other extreme where you're allowed to do something that is glowingly glaringly illegal, and that's exactly what they're doing, and that's sad, dude. Can I say something that made me actually very proud? You had our fishermen lead the way, for years. We spoke about pollution, we spoke about the lake and the river and all the pollutants and the fish that are not I wouldn't eat fish out of the Mandavi, sorry, I have to say that, but you've had these fishermen lead the way to nab these Karnataka trawlers off the coast of Goa. I would love to talk about these. Our Goan fishermen that actually stand up and they take take a stand against it. This is bullshit. Why are these guys being allowed to encroach on our fishing, on our what are they called? Our greener pastures?
In Goan waters, essentially, they were well within the Goan waters.
Look at the fish, dude.
And so this guy's Pele. I thought he was good at football as well. Tons of fish they had.
This is talle, no?
But the thing is, Merv, yet again, you have to depend on the citizenry or the Goans to save the day. What are our officials doing? Don't we have a Coast Guard or somebody that the state government could employ?
But Mervyn said they don't have enough
how can
petrol
they employ a Coast Guard? How can you employ a Coast Guard? You don't have a budget for petrol.
Listen,
I'm agreeing with you. I don't understand the story, by the way. This guy's pointing out that these guys are killing the
So
talle.
he's a fisherman. So this guy is Pele. So he is the one who'd actually led these fishermen to chase these 6 trawlers that were well within the Goan territorial water.
Because of the encroachment.
Yes,
These
so
trawlers were encroaching.
they were illegally fishing in Goan waters. So they went chasing after them. Then they got the authorities involved as well. And they brought them back into port and then processed them because they wanted to bring some charges.
Joanne, this guy, hats off to this guy.
He's a legend, by the way. Pele.
I don't know who he is.
He's Pele.
Okay. The point I'm trying to make it, hats off to this guy, because at the end of the day, if the government authorities are not doing their jobs, I'm going to show you more about it and I will bring you out. But the fact that it's sad because these guys have done what they're doing and they continue to do something wrong, and it affects our culture, it affects our pocketbooks, it affects our economy.
Yeah.
And if the authorities can't do it, these guys should make an example of these people breaking the rules, impound the boats, fine the crap out of them, but make an example out of them so it doesn't continue to happen.
Yeah, so what happened is at 7 a.m., Pele alerted the fisheries minister.
Is this her? Is this the lady? Is this the minister?
No, I don't.
Shamila Montero.
Yeah, it was Pele that was the one that alerted them at 7 in the morning. So they'd seen these guys.
Okay, and what's the point?
They were alerting the authorities. The authorities weren't there patrolling the waters, which is a time when the fishermen would be out there, wouldn't they?
Is there a reason they're not out there? Somebody being paid?
Still in bed?
Is somebody being paid?
Somebody's definitely not being paid.
But Ajoy, can I make it? See, this is Casino Pride. So this is happening in Beatty. This is Panjim. These are all the casino boats.
Because they brought them in.
Look at the fish. Flipping fish, dude.
What Pele said was actually what is more worrying is that the unrestricted fishing in our waters. One is it is our territorial waters. Why, when there's a law that doesn't allow somebody from another state to come and fish there? Why is it happening?
What are you doing about it?
So that's a big question. The bigger question that needs answered by the government. One.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, because of this, unrestricted fishing with no basis by which you can protect your future stocks of fish. Here they're basically taking everything out of the water. He says that we will suffer in the future because we will not have enough fish because they're overfishing the waters over there.
Again, I ask you, my brother, what is being done about it? Who with the brain understands that you can only fish? You've got fishing seasons, by the way. The authorities are supposed to not relegate, what they're supposed to rule about when you can fish and when you can't. They shut it down during the monsoon, right?
Yes.
You know what these clowns are more, you know what they're more or higher onto their priority list is to go and figure out if these boats have enough life vests, these tourist boats and all. And that's equally important. But I'm saying to you, if the fines you imposed on these people generate enough revenue to put petrol in your patrolling boats, why don't they? You've got huge budgets. I've said this for so many years of my life. You've got these huge budgets where money is allocated to petrol to have the enforcement of laws and rules. Why should boats from Karnataka or Maharashtra come and fish in our Goan waters and vice versa? We shouldn't be allowed to go into their waters, right?
Correct.
But your authorities should be enforcing this, and you impose these massive financial fines. Confiscate the boats, sell the boats, auction the boats, use that revenue to buy petrol for your boats. Do we have any patrolling boats? I've never seen one. And catch these people that break in the rules. You know when all the boats come in from the fishing to sell their wares in Beti and Shapura and all. You should have these officers out there stationed, making sure imposing the rules and laws are being followed, right?
I've come up with a great idea. Just
Sang.
You want to have money for petrol and for the boats to patrol and prevent this illegal.
Yes, how?
Just a small tax on our shitkodi and for whatever fish. Small one, minute. Small one on both the fishermen. Anybody in the industry who's benefiting from fishing and from eating fish, small tax to pay for patrolling of our water.
Okay, that may be the case. Get this lady off the screen because I'm so disgusted by the fact that Pele had to go and take a Pele. Kudos to you, my friend, and all your friends. Listen, play by the rules. Authorities enforce the rules. It's common sense. It happens all over the world. Do your jobs. You're being paid a salary. Limit when and how many fish and the size of the fish like they do all over the world. Don't reinvent the wheel. You've got the internet. Look up what you want to find, mate. You can find news and information about it. You just need a brain and somebody to do their jobs. It's not rocket science. You don't need any more taxes. I
want our Goan waters protected for Goans.
Where can I? Okay, I'm going to ask you the most important question. I've already mentioned this. I want to have a contest, Ajoy, where I give away money on the show. I want to give away prizes. I want to give away stuff on the show. I mentioned 5 minutes ago, what is the easiest way to make sure that these rules and all are being enforced? Make an example of these people, right?
Exactly.
Confiscate the boats, impound the boats, auction the boats, use that revenue to put petrol in enforcement boats that can go out and continue the cycle, right? These poor fishermen have to go and do the goddamn enforcing themselves. What are the authorities doing? You know what I'm saying? Simple. Don't reinvent the wheel. These poor guys are out there doing their job. These poor fishermen are out there doing their jobs, but you're doing something illegal, and that's what you need the authorities, the elected officials to step in and do their jobs. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I want to have a fish.
Are you getting too hot, Mervyn? Is it because the heated Goa is just too hot these days?
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This is summer. But you know what? I choose to live here. I wouldn't move anywhere. I wouldn't choose to live anywhere else in the world. This is my hell. Donald Trump, don't you dare. I can say it. This is my shithole, but I choose to live here because I love this place.
He didn't say that.
He said hellhole.
Comes close enough.
But
I know, but I love this place too.
Apparently the summers seem to be getting hotter.
Do you not agree, Joanne?
I agree. I feel like it's very, very hot at the moment. We're still only in April. But this particular story is saying that it's more intense. When you're tracking the heat, if you're just tracking the mercury, just on the ground, just locally at street level, it's the Mercury's telling you one thing, but if you're actually tracking this,
look at these poor guys on
by
the beach.
satellite.
Look at these poor guys these are lifeguards that are stuck out there having to do this job. Yeah, go on, George.
Yeah, but if you're tracking it by satellite, it's actually a lot hotter than it says at ground level.
Common sense. It's been happening for years, mate. It's not something new.
It's like
Sweetie Pie.
32 degrees, but it's still saying that you're still in the 30s when you're at street level. But
you live on the
really.
coast. You live on the coast. You got more humidity and moisture in the air. It's a lot more sticky.
It feels
But
like 42 degrees. That's
the temperatures have been rising for how long, Ajo? It's not something new that we've just learned.
So-
Over time, the temperatures have gone hotter and hotter. Global warming, no?
So apparently, this could be related to not just the El Nino effect. It could be what they say is a super El Nino effect, which apparently would cause these very, very high temperatures to occur in and around the India and Southeast Asia and these countries. So it could be that. Yeah.
I don't think it's something new. You've been watching, and I've seen it over time. It's getting warmer and warmer. Summers are getting longer, hotter weather. Ata pausacho season started at tamare. Huh?
I hope it happens soon.
Shut your mouth. I hate the monsoon. That's
love
one
the
thing I can't stand, dude. I hate the monsoons, but it's got to happen. We've got to harvest the water. We've got to make sure you fill the water table so that more tankers can go and sell water illegally. No, the fact of the matter remains, global warming is a true thing, and it's happening, and it is hot out there, dude. With the humidity, it gets even worse, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I want to know, well, can we talk about something fun, something different, something...
well, I wanted to talk about the kindness of humans.
There you go. I love it. Talk about it.
So the
Can before you get it, you're talking about there's a marathon. You're talking about the marathon?
Boston Marathon. I wanted to talk about the Boston Marathon. So that happened on Monday. And this guy...
dude, that's an Indian dude if I ever seen one.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
So he was actually struggling to actually get over the line. I don't know whether you've actually seen any videos, but he literally couldn't stand. He tried multiple times to get up and he just literally couldn't stand up.
Ajay, Haridas. No!
I just remember getting back up every single time.
Oh my God, dude.
The second time or third time I fell, I started slapping the ground to try hyping myself up. I tried a couple more times, and the last time I fell, I rolled over.
I love this story, dude.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I love this story. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You see the finish line and everything, and I looked at my watch and I was like debating. I was like, do I help, do I not? Do I get a PB?
Stop it. Pause it right now. Just pause it for a second.
He's a
Just
guy
pause
from,
it.
he's a
Can
guy
I tell
from
you,
Northern Ireland.
Can I tell you, this guy could have broken the record. He was looking down at his watch is what he was saying.
Yeah.
Do I break the record or do I help somebody? And guess what he chose to do?
So he was up against to get his personal best, and essentially so was the other guy who also stopped.
Look at the guy's legs, dude. He's like Jello. Oh my God. So he could have broken his record or stop and help a fellow human. And he chose, look, he can't handle him on his own. And another guy stopped.
Yeah. And so this guy was also on a PB as well. He was about to get a personal best, but he stopped to actually help because Aaron couldn't handle him on his own. And they essentially got him over the line. And that is what is the kindness of humans.
Can I give them a round of applause, dude?
It's so lovely to see that.
You know what I say?
This is humanity at its best. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you need to emulate and strive to be like.
Trump and whoever's controlling Trump and whoever's controlling Iran right now learn something from this.
Absolutely.
Dude,
this guy, the other guy, Robson de Oliveira, he also stopped to help. And then when they got over the finish line, the authorities had actually got a wheelchair out. So this Aaron thought they'd brought it for the Indian dude who couldn't actually get over the line. In fact, this guy Robson collapsed into the wheelchair because he himself was just
from helping the other guy.
He was totally exhausted, so he got in the wheelchair first. So I just think it's a really, really lovely human story.
And I think they will be remembered more for this than from any record or winning the race, for example.
But Ajoy, they deserve awards for this. They deserve to be recognized for this. This is heroics. This is both of these guys are going to break their personal best. Should we stop and help? Should we break our personal best? And they chose what humanity is supposed to be like. Emulate. No, go on.
And keep in mind when they say their personal best, they've been training probably a couple of years to get to this point, right? And this is the moment that they want to ensure that all the efforts pay dividends, and they gave up all of that.
Good for them. Good for them. Mention their names again, by the way. The Indian dude was Ajay Haridas.
Yeah.
Who were the other two gentlemen that stopped to help?
Aaron Beggs is the guy from Northern Ireland. He's the one on the right in the yellow jersey. And then there's Robson de Oliveira. He's the one on the left in the white.
Guys, you have my utmost respect, and I think that is such a cool story to talk about and highlight. Yeah. By the way, you've got the London Marathon.
London Marathon, yeah. So the TCS sponsored London Marathon. These guys have got a huge...
Who's TCS? What is TCS?
Tata Consultancy Services.
Wow.
So yeah, these guys must have this huge sponsorship budget.
Well, yeah, it says it on his jersey.
Yeah, so they all have that on their numbers and everything. So this guy has actually just smashed the 2-hour barrier at the London Marathon. So he did it in 1 hour, 59 minutes and 30 seconds. So he's a record breaker. So he's from Kenya. So good for him.
These really guys excel at this. These Africans excel at this. There's so many big names, dude. The women and men from a lot of these African countries have practiced and done. They're superior in this. Can you believe they've broken the 2-hour mark? 1:59. Ajay, what's your best? 2:04.
Infinity.
You're lucky that Infinity. You don't have that on a watch dial, mate.
Never stopping. But I'm surprised actually. It's a Kenyan. Because it's always been Kenyans. And do you know why they're so good at...
Kenyans and Ethiopians.
Can I tell you why? Because they're always running from the animals. Yes. Shut up. I'm being funny.
Not from just the animals. You could be right there as well. But they just run. To get from point A to point B, they don't have any vehicles. And it's a very high altitude one. Apparently that helps in you, optimizing for running. And they just run to go get their groceries, to get their wives, to get whatever.
To get their wives, to run away from their wives.
Run away from their wives, that too.
Sorry, see, sweetie, that was a compliment to you.
I was going to say, you've got it in for the wives on this occasion, haven't you? So this guy is Sebastian Sawe, so we really need to salute him. So he's done an amazing job. So there's going to be a lot of people still running that marathon right now. There was a couple of years back that this guy did it in a really, really old-fashioned... diving suit, those metal diving suits.
No ways.
The marathon.
He did it. I think it took him a week to actually.
That's crazy.
Well, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Take a week to run a marathon.
Why do they scale Mount Everest?
Is there a time limit to scaling Mount Everest?
No, because it's there.
Oh my God. Ajoy, that's such a stupid question. Let me ask you, what's faster, a car or a cat? I'm going to tell you a funny joke.
I'll tell you.
Depends on whether they're in the car or not.
What's faster, a car or a cat?
Car driven by a cat.
No. How do you make a cat pass a car? Make a cat faster than a car?
You make a dog.
Oh, you're going to fucking mess up my joke. It was a stupid joke. I was going to say rub kerosene on its bum. All the cat people are going to call us, dude. The reason I said that because these guys are fast. He's just broken the barrier, 2-hour barrier, to make history again. These guys excel at this. These guys are so damn good at it. And actually, Tata Consultancy worldwide, mate.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of sponsorship of a lot of sporting events. In fact, yeah. So as I say, they've got huge global ambitions. It looks like.
Wow. What's the odds of an African winning the marathon?
Pretty high.
Pretty darn. I wouldn't bet against it. Okay. Can we come out with something to end the show with? We've come to the limit, or I want to talk about the meteor shower.
Oh, wasn't that amazing? That was so gorgeous. After the Artemis 2, after that expedition. So we were all excited to see the meteor shower in Goa.
I'm going to tell you a funny story. By the way, today is 26.04.26.
Yay.
Once in a lifetime, 26.04.26. Ajoy, write it down. Go buy some lottery tickets.
Okay.
26.04.26. Only once in your lifetime you see that. I love these events. I'll never forget on a Goan beach many years ago, Mickey Suarez and myself were sitting on the beach and looking up at the sky by chance, and it was a fluke. It was the prettiest thing you've ever seen. We were there at a meteor shower. We didn't even know it. And then we realized it was the nicest thing. Joanne and myself, Darai, all of us went to the beach the other day because they were mentioning it from the 24th or the 20th to the 30th. You're going to have a meteor shower.
21st or something.
And we sat out there to watch the meteor shower on the beach. Can I tell you, it's really sad because on the beach, there's so much light pollution. You could barely see stars in the sky. And like dummies, we sat there from about 8 o'clock to about 11 o'clock and saw nothing. And we were 24 hours too late. It was supposed to be the 21st night, 22nd early morning.
Okay.
But this is not a very frequent, this is a once in a while occurrence where you see a beautiful meteor shower. This one's called Lyrid.
Yeah, so that's the lyra, the harp. So that's looking at the constellation in the sky, and it's supposed to happen once a year, in fact. So this was just a really strange thing because you were all enthusiastic about us.
I was so excited
observing this meteor shower, and then we missed it.
I'm going to show you what you missed, Mo.
What did I miss? You actually got footage. That's not Goa, dude.
No, that's not Goa, but this is what it would look like.
No, this is absolutely not. Those
this
are planes.
Is only about 20 to
Those
30
are airplanes. That is fast.
No, man. This
bollocks. This is not the
Lyrid meteor shower.
Bollocks.
Look here.
Yeah, dude. But you believe everything you see on Shine on You Crazy Diamond. Who said that? Oh yeah, dude. Oi, dude. Pink Floyd, Shine on You Crazy Diamond. If that is the meteor shower, that is awesome, dude. But that's time lapse, Ajoy.
Still, that's how many shooting stars you would see.
From the 14th to the 30th, whoever this gentleman is, thanks, oi dude. Lyrid meteor shower, how epic is this? I've never seen so many shooting stars. This meteor shower is inactive from April 14th to the 30th. There's still time for you to see this. Key details: peak nights, the nights of 21st, 22nd, and April 22nd, 23rd, the highest activity.
This was clearly for another location on Earth.
Yeah.
But we should have been able to see this if we didn't have all those bright lights.
Dude, look at that, mate. That is cool, no?
We went on the 21st. Was it on the...
No, we went on the 22nd night.
We went on the 22nd, which was Wednesday.
Anyway, there was good intention. I would have loved to see a couple of... How beautiful is this? But like I'm saying, again, our beaches are the best place to see this kind of activity, but it's too bright. There's too many lights.
You know what they say, Mo? If you ever want to believe in God, go and look at the stars in its plain beauty without any light pollution, that is.
Oh, yeah.
You'll understand how minuscule we are in the grand scheme of things, and then you'd probably believe in God.
I don't need to believe in God. I've got a lot of faith in my religion. I agree with what you're saying. To see something that is a natural occurrence, and you would thank God to be able to appreciate something like that, you need to be in a very dark place on a high building or place where it's not polluted by a lot of lights to be able to see absolute... dude, I can't stare at this all day long, mate.
What do you mean really I don't need to believe in God?
I believe in God. I've got faith. This doesn't make me believe in or disbelieve. I've got my own faith, but I'm saying something as beautiful as this creation is impressive, no? To be able to see it.
If you could see the sky at night like this, wouldn't you stop and think? I'm just asking the question.
You would, dude. That's another discussion, but I agree with you. This is beautiful. Give me one more story before we go. It is the 23rd. What are we on, the 26th? 26th of April.
So
give me one last good story. I want to talk about, can I tell you a funny one? Can we talk about that millionaire from America?
Oh, that's not a funny one, Mervyn.
I think it's funny as hell.
It's not funny.
A big game hunter dies after being crushed by an elephant. That's maybe not funny. Sorry. That's a wrong choice of words. How ironic.
He was a millionaire.
Yeah, but this is why you don't need to be out there hunting for trophy's sake. You hunt to survive, to eat, to feed your family.
Yeah.
This millionaire died because he got crushed by elephants. Yeah. He was a big game hunter. Mm-hmm. It's ironic. I shouldn't be saying that. I'm sorry.
He was hunting antelope in Africa. It's a guy called Ernie Dosayo. He's a 75-year-old vineyard owner, but he got crushed by the elephant herd whilst he was actually out hunting. He's
killed a flipping lion. He's killed an elephant to put on his wall. A bison. Dude, I'm not. You don't make fun of anybody dying. A life's a life. But this is equally touching for me because he's out there killing for trophy to put on a gosh darn wall because he can afford to.
But apparently now a lot of people are saying that you need these kind of activities to generate revenue to save wildlife. What do you think?
Ajay, very
It's
true,
a
my friend.
multi-million-dollar industry. It's saying
Yep.
that in South Africa, estimates for the industry's worth range from 100 million in 2005 to 68 million in 2012 to 120 million in 2015. So it's like two sides of a coin, and it's just a real shame that people are trophy hunting.
I don't have a problem with people hunting to survive, to feed the family, to feed themselves. That's not a problem. And even to a degree, when it's something like called culling the herd, where you've got a menace, you've got a nuisance, you've got to kill wild, and that's not a problem. It has to be done. It has to be done. Even hunting, if you're going to generate revenue. But you know what the most important question is? Mm-hmm. And we ask that question here all the time in Goa.
What?
We've got taxes being collected. Correct?
Yeah.
So when you allow people to hunt, you charge them a fee. Where is that money being spent? Is it being spent for the actual cause, or is it being spent or going into somebody's pocket? So nothing wrong with it. If it's being enforced, if the money is actually being put into preservation or the environment, absolutely. It has to be done and make it proper, but make sure the money is being used for the right reasons.
Yeah, you remember we were watching last week because fox hunting has been outlawed and is illegal in the UK, but we'd actually seen Christina McFarlane on CNN. She was actually one of the humans that the hounds were chasing.
How good is that story, Joe?
Yeah, it was a really good story. They'd actually gone into the cage where all the hounds were, so they were still able to do the hunt and hold all of those traditions. But the humans went into the cage with all of the
So the dogs could pick up the scent, and rather than chase the foxes, they sent the humans out and had to get a head start. My God, it takes you an hour.
All right.
It's a great story.
You speak too fast. You know that.
Let me tell you, I love this. And that's another I'm so glad you mentioned this, Joanne. Ajay, it's so cruel because they send these dogs out when they do fox hunting. Mm-hmm. They've been doing it for many, many years. It's not my place to say, but in my own personal opinion, I find it so sad because they go and chase all these different animals. The dogs go and then they hunt them and they shoot them and blah, blah, blah. That's not my thing, and it may be somebody else's thing, but they've turned this around, and to keep it around and to keep the dog people generating revenue with their dogs and to keep the hunters generating revenue for hunting, they have humans go out and the dogs and the teams hunt the humans.
That sounds like really...
Yeah.
How cool is that, dude?
So it was a CNN report. It was Christina McFarlane on CNN. She'd actually gone out with the hunt. So she was a little bit nervous at first because the dogs were jumping up and licking her and all of that. But then they got a 15-minute head start on the hounds.
Where'd you find that? Put it on the screen. That's Christina.
I told him it's CNN. They got a 15-minute head start.
It's coming up. I hope it plays.
It won't come up. But that's Christina McFarlane. This was done on CNN.
Yeah.
There it is. Check that out, dude.
Hunt, known for its pageantry, aristocracy.
So the stereotype of this is an elitist sport is...
I'm going to try and find the bot.
Yeah, so go to the end because, they said it was quite exhilarating because
I would say that
when they were catching up. This is when they've caught them.
Okay.
They all get biscuits. It's a happy story. I love this. Can I tell you about Christina McFarlane, by the way?
Go for it.
That's a cunning stunt.
So they're catching the humans right now, right?
Yeah.
So they found the humans.
Yes.
Ajay, did you hear my joke?
Yeah, Merv.
Sorry.
Heard it. That's it.
I said she's a cunning stunt.
Mervin.
There's a round of
I think that's...
Cheers.
You'll get it on the way home. I love this story, and that's a beautiful story to end with.
Yeah, I would have had that port. I love port. Traditionally, they have a glass of port at
That's
the
my
end.
wife.
Love
My wife.
it.
She'll turn any story into a drinking game, mate.
No, I don't. Oh, my word.
Mauve,
Yeah, Baba.
what kind of foxes do you hunt?
I used to be a big game hunter.
The Saligow foxes.
I used to be a big game hunter back in the day. You know, all the boys do that still. Schubert and Mark and all these guys, they're game hunters. But then we all got married, dude. And
throw them all under the bus.
No, but I saved them. They got married and they don't do the hunting anymore when their wives are around. I'm kidding. I'm only kidding, boys. It's a good hobby to have. Hunting, there's nothing nothing wrong with it. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been tuned to the Murbrito Show, and I hope we've entertained you. At the end of the day, we do the show, and we have a good time, and we have a laugh. But it is our way, our little way of being able to highlight topics and things that are happening in our own backyard and around the world and give you our takes on it. But we want to bring this world of people together, and that's what we do on the Murbrito Show. Our social media feeds, our social media sites, wherever you get your social media, will have more information, and we will do shorts and reels, and I would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Post your comments.
And also we've got May Day coming up, haven't we? Which is
What is May
Labor
Day?
So May Day holiday, isn't it, for everybody?
When, what day?
On the 1st of May.
Oh, is it?
So it's for everybody.
May Day,
so it's for
May
the
Day.
workers, isn't it?
May Day.
So it's to give them a day off.
May Day.
Yeah, May.
Did you get that?
That's it, May Day.
It is our passion. It is something we do, and we do the show every week. And between Ajoy and Neil and Yusuf and Wilbert and Joanne and myself, we do this, and we are still in the testing phases. 50 odd shows later, this is going to change because Ajoy has got some big plans.
First, we have to do some contests. That's what we should.
I want to do some contests.
It's not about contests.
Joanne
It's
didn't want to
about
spend
the
any money.
content, not the contest.
So we've proven, what is it called? We've proven the concept. But you've worked your tail off, Ajo, and I know what you've done with the actual, what is it going to be called? The actual formatting of the Murbrito Show?
We're going to revamp things and make it more interactive. We would love to hear from our viewers and listeners as to what maybe they want, and we would include it. We want to make you guys happy, so do let us know, and look forward to some changes in the show.
I love what you're doing. I love what the plan is. I love what you're going to incorporate. Joanne, you've worked your tail off on a daily basis. You guys put out shorts and reels that go out on our social media fields. Ladies and gentlemen, check out check out our social media. You threw me for a loop, my
Team
pet.
effort, that's all I'm saying.
I like that. We work as a team. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go and check out and see what we're putting out every day of the week on our social media platforms. Anywhere you get your social media, check out the Murbrito Show. We'd love to hear from you. There's a lot of people that I love you guys. I love you so much, but I'm zero when it comes to social media. There's a lot of comments and a lot of kind things. I don't know. There's some mean things. I don't even read them. I need to start reading them. And the way Ajoy is going to do the new format for the show going forward is we're going to be able to incorporate a lot more of these comments and statements and interactions that you've had with us. I really do appreciate it. I love the fact that people do get involved and send us the messages. Keep them coming. Leave us a comment. If you like what we do, show us some love. We would appreciate it. Leave us a like, share the content, and tell more people about it. It's been our pleasure. I hope you... Hey, look at this. What is this?
Let's end on this. Let's end on this.
Play it. I want to hear it.
This is our very own Willie.
Get up with it!
Yay!
It's a good note to end on, Merv.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed yourself this week. Take care of yourselves.
Background also.
Take care of yourselves and one another. Until next week, Murbrito, I'm out.